Everybody, and today it's a wonderful day here in the southeast part of Saskatchewan, and I do have to say, holy crap, I was itching to do a show yesterday. But before we start with this show, you are tuned into the Blitz Morning Show, and I am your host. My name is Toby Brendel. You are with me for the next 15 plus minutes. Let's just hope it is 15 plus minutes. Whoa. Today has been actually a really busy day for many reasons. Not particular for me, for the country and my city. And you're probably thinking, okay, what does your city have to do with huge news, or why should you really care because you're somewhere in the States or somewhere in Canada? Well, okay, let me start off by saying what we're going to be talking about, first of all, is the legalization of marijuana that comes to effect today. That is correct. You heard me. Marijuana in Canada is 100% legal. So if you want to go home, sit on your porch, whatever, strike up a doobie, you want to do a wake and bake, you want to have a big fatty for breakfast, lunch, dinner, bedtime, you name it, go for it. It's totally legal. But there's going to be a few speculations when it comes to the whole marijuana thing. And for the longest time, the border, if you had, say, worked at a shop or owned a marijuana shop, and I got a sneeze, which is not cool, but anyway, they were going to say you could not go down to the States for like a holiday or anything like that at the border crossing. Then over, say, the last week and a half, they actually changed it, saying if you did work for a store or owned a store, you're now allowed in. That's almost kind of a biased thing, because what if somebody from, say, Washington State decided they wanted to come up to Canada, they smoked a huge bunch of marijuana and worked at a store? They could get in, no problem. They could get back into the States, no problem. But just because now Canada is legal, and we are the second place in the whole entire world that has marijuana legal, it's going to be interesting to actually see what the outcomes become and what's going to follow. There's one guy down in Colorado, he said it was actually one of the best things that has happened when they legalized marijuana. For example, they received a bunch of funding which helped do school, build new buildings, dressed up the city, etc., etc. So really, it wasn't a bad thing when it comes to that. It was, in his words, it was great. So the tax revenue that could come from the marijuana, it could have a benefit for the community if done right. I just don't think it should be legalized. I think it should be decriminalized. But, you know, that's my opinion. Sometimes we have positives and negatives. One of the thing is you can have arguments between, like, for example, alcohol and marijuana. Alcohol, you can actually die from it. Marijuana, you can't. You can if it was laced with something, it can trip you the F out. So you just have like pros and cons for that. You get the munchies, marijuana, or alcohol. You can like die, beats, etc., etc. But nowadays, you have to take a look at everything. You have gambling, you have marijuana now, you have alcohol, you have smoking. There's so many things that can destroy families, and that's the number one thing that everybody always preaches on. Like, if there's a casino that pops up, they're going to be like, oh, it's going to destroy families. Why do I keep saying that? Alcohol destroys families. Once you get alcoholism, and it can be passed down from generation to generation, is one of those things that has a rolling effect, which might not be a good or great thing. Okay, perfect. So I was with legalization. I don't do it. Then once it started saying marijuana is going to be legal in about a year, and that's all you heard everywhere. Marijuana this, marijuana that, legal, pros, cons, what's going to happen, how is this going to stop it? One of the big issues here in Saskatchewan, I'm not sure about where you are. I want to know what you guys, if there's issues where you guys are. So head over to the Facebook page, the Blitz Talks morning, the Blitz Morning Show. Yeah, screwed that up. So do that. Tell me where you're from, and tell me if you guys are having an issue with DUIs, driving while under the influence. Doing it this way, it will give me a little bit more broad spectrum on how it could affect it. Like Saskatchewan alone, it's just absolutely insane how bad, like for example, drinking and driving is. They're trying to combat drinking and driving because of the harsh reality it produces. And nobody's ever learning. In the last year to 2 years, we've had 2 people from my own hometown of 10,000 kill people. There was one person who had a good job at a dealership. He was drinking and driving. He hit somebody, killed him. Not even 4 to 6 months ago, there was a bunch of guys driving from Manitoba here in Saskatchewan to go home. Rolled. One guy got killed. Everybody else got hurt. Like, I do not understand. We have taxis. Weyburn's small enough. Like, I know once you get into the bigger centers, it's a little bit harder. There's transit, there's taxis. Saskatchewan's trying to get Uber and Lyft in, which could be a massive positive thing. So it totally baffles me, you know that? Now our police service has to combat marijuana and alcohol when it comes to drinking and driving. So let's just kind of switch it up a bit. Let's get a little bit positive here, you guys. Why did he let me walk down this? So, all right. Let me just kind of calm. Let me kind of relax. And let's talk about the big change in my hometown. All right. Like I said before, it's not going to affect you guys. But it's one of those things where it does affect me and my stations, which also will affect the Blitz Talks, as well as Beaver Radio, and the Blitz Rocks. Yes, I have 3 stations, but currently right now, the Blitz Talks and Beaver Radio, they're combined underneath the same stream. For now, until I can get a little bit more money and put them on separate streams. But our rock station, K106, has changed format, logo, everything like that. Now they're called Big 106, and they play music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And my one buddy, he says, man, you're paranoid. Damn right, I'm paranoid. Because Beaver Radio is blue, starts with a B, plays music from the 90s and 2000s. I know it's not the same, but if you take a look at the logo of Big 107, B, their logo is blue. They play music from the 90s, 80s, and 70s. So it's like 3 decades that they play. I play 2, but in a different direction. Well, and I've been trying to get Beaver Radio going for how many years? And it's not... I have been advertising saying this is what's going on. The coincidences are just too strong. I hate that. I can do one thing and be like, yeah, this is my dumb, and everybody just looks at me and goes, are you simply an idiot? Then it's like, yeah, I'm guilty, man. Great, I'm doing my tangents. That's one thing I have to stop doing, is my tangents rants, because I'm pretty sure some of you don't even want to hear it. All right. Let's skate over to hockey. I know, horrible pun. I was scrolling through my Facebook feed and I noticed my one buddy Boomer. Him and his brother-in-law, they were arguing about Connor McDavid and the superstar he is. So Boomer, he mentioned about every team has a superstar. Edmonton has Connor McDavid. Pittsburgh has Crosby. Then you have Ovechkin with Washington. Stamkos, or at least was Stamkos for Tampa Bay. Bufflin for Winnipeg. And then he gets to Calgary and Minnesota. Of course, Minnesota's my team. But when he says he doesn't know who the superstar is for Calgary, I'm thinking to myself, come on, it's Johnny Gaudreau. Anybody knows that. But when it comes to Minnesota, there isn't a real star that stands out. One of the issues that Minnesota has is scoring. For example, Jason Zucker had like 32 to 35 goals last year, and he was 5th highest score in Wild's history. 5th. So that's Zucker. Then last year, Stahl, he got in the 40s, and he tied with Granlund, I think. So there was 2 other guys. Like, for coming into the league in the start of like 2000, it's almost 18 years, and Zucker only scored 33 goals, for example, and he's 5th on the league, like, or 5th in the team overall. That just does not really fly too well, if you ask me. So it's just one of those things where I can basically say, you have Stahl, 1 year, had 43 goals. Zucker, he's been on the Wild. He's been actually not too bad. Then if you look at the other side, well, you have Zach Parise and Ryan Suter. Suter, he's a great defense superstar. Possibly face of the franchise. Could be. But Parise, he'd be more of a face of the franchise. Not because of the big contract. Sorry about that, guys. But his actual gameplay and stuff like that. Dubnyk, he has to be. He may be a goalie, but goddamn, if it wasn't for him, the Wild would be out. Like, the other day, he stopped 50 shots in a 4-3 loss. Dubnyk is the face, but breaking it down, I would put my cards on Zuck for probably 2 years. then I put the rest on Preezy. It's just plain, that simple. I apologize also about the ads that is going on. I don't know what's happening. All I know is that freaking Subway commercial, it's freaking annoying. My God, everywhere I go, the stream that I do, that I have, it's popping up there. It's popping up here. So I don't know exactly what is going on. But I just want to start freaking taking a baseball bat to everything and start smashing everything Subway. Except for the sandwiches, because they're really good. I guess nowadays the biggest problem is cookies and how websites, they'll take a look at where you are. They'll start trying to get ads to customize to where you are, what you looked at. Amazon and Facebook are really bad for that. Seriously, what can you do? Like, if you don't like the ads or don't want to do things like that, then get it off the internet. I do want to drop off from the grid for maybe 1-2 weeks. Tried for like 1 or 2 days. Pack up the phone, shove it off to the side. Will it work? Ugh. It's going to be tough. Are you addicted to your phone? Are you willing to drop it? Not like drop it, but are you willing to put it away? Some of you, yes, some of you, oh hell no, I need my phone. Me personally, I wish I didn't have one. One of the reasons why I do have one is because of my work. Then, yeah, it looks like it's something. Oh. Sorry about that, guys. I just got massively sidetracked. There is a farmer building brand new fence, and I just seen a fence pounder. That was freaking awesome. Small things amuse small minds. What can I say? Sometimes I just need to sit back and relax. All right. 18 minutes. Not bad, not bad. Can do better. But like I said before, yesterday, I wanted to turn on the show and do a podcast. Like, so bad, but I'm thinking to myself, no. I promised everybody that I'm going to do one Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Not Tuesday, not Thursday. And that's how it's going to be. I am going to do 3 times a week. That's plain and that's simple. I'm almost thinking what I should do is a podcast on Thursdays and Tuesdays of the Toby and Alex Challenge. It's starting to get interesting. Not for the simple fact somebody's getting blown away, but right now our records are 3-3. So, anywho, I better let you guys get going. I'm pretty sure you're getting bored of my tangents, because I know I am. Do you have social media? Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Just do a search for The Blitz Talks, as well as The Blitz Morning Show. If you're on Twitter, do a search for... Actually, don't do a search. Just follow The Blitz Talks and CoffeeMan_radio. Make sure you follow those. We'll get them going. And yeah, that's basically about it. If you have any questions, comments, you can email us at theblitztalks@gmail.com. And from there, I'm going to have to say thank you for tuning in to the Blitz Morning Show. I am your host. My name is Toby, and I will see you on Wednesday. Just stay out of trouble, and I will see you then, everyone.